Hello, hello, hello. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay. Hello, my sovereign warriors, beloved ones. Welcome back to Transmission Thursdays. It's been such a really long time since I've been here. Well, I think it's been 2 months since May. I was last year in April. And we're back. We're back now. So say hello. Let me know that you're here with me. You're back. Let's have a conversation. I'm really excited to be back here, my beloved ones. So for those that are joining the family, so what we typically do is we say hashtag warrior of light and say hello to everyone because we are a family here. And you may share where you are coming from today, which part of the world you're coming from. I'm really excited to have everyone here. If you're watching this as the replay, hashtag replay, right? So hashtag warrior of light, hashtag replay. So yeah, let's do that. Let's share where we're coming from. Hello, Roy, Dumela Roy. Hello, Kopano. Thank you for joining. Welcome. Welcome to the community. I'm really excited to have you all here. So Transmission Thursdays, for those who are joining us, it's a weekly session that we have together as a family where we come and discuss ideas of spirituality, ideas of metaphysics, ideas of healing, and ideas of the quantum, the multidimensional, ideas of, yeah, just everything spirit, really, hashtag everything spirit. So I am really excited to be here. I see Lerato. Yes, we are back, girl. We're back, we're back, we're back. Yes. Hi, Subongile. So good to see you, beloved. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. Whew. Yeah, I really missed the space. As some of you may know, I've been doing a couple of live streams on Instagram. And so, yeah, it's like a new world for me, Instagram live streaming. So it was, I needed time to process and integrate also doing live streams that side. But now I feel like I'm gonna have a system because I'm a girl who likes systems. So we are going to have Transmission Thursdays in here on Facebook, and then we're gonna have live streams on Instagram every Tuesdays. So that should work because there are some people who are in Instagram who were like, Joy, it would be so cool if you also shared this on Instagram. But I also know that there are other people who are not able to access Instagram. So yeah, we're gonna try all the two platforms. Okay. And all these videos will be updated on my YouTube channel. So if you didn't know, I also have a YouTube channel, Joy Mohani, on YouTube. And in my YouTube channel, there are not only tons of videos, past videos, but you will also find a lot of interviews that I have done with other teachers and mentors and guides who are doing the work of spirit, the work of healing, and so on. So you can go to my YouTube to catch up with it's like really, it's an archive of African spirituality and healing, and it's just brilliant. Yeah. Hello. Koketso, so good to have you. So hashtag warrior of light, hashtag replay, if this is a replay, and where you're coming from. I am coming from Johannesburg today. It's a little chilly here. It's officially July. So I've got my blanket here and my hot beverage here and ready to go. Okay. Whew. So today we are contemplating on the theme of holy guardians, right? So I would like to make this more of like a conversation between me and you. So yeah, let's share our thoughts as well in the comment section, and yeah, interact with each other, right? So this theme of holy guardian is it's a theme that is coming from the work that I've been doing in South Africa. So I have been called to the land by the guardians of the land. They called me here to come and do some work here. And I have really expanded and started to understand what guardians are, you know, and holy guardians are. So I just wanted to come and share on this, because as we are the holy guardians ourselves, and then there is also holy guardians that are available, that exist, that right now are here, and they are like ready to connect with you, with us, to help us, support us. Right. Hello, Latasha. Hello, Sarah. Oh, so good to see you, warriors. I mean, your names. Yes. Okay. So I had a very powerful spiritual experience sometime in May. I do tend to, I mean, my work opens me up to a lot of spiritual experiences, but this experience that I had, I was in Mabone. For those who know the this part of the city of Johannesburg, Mabone is a vibey place. It's very noisy, and they are like a lot of artsy people. It's like happening, and I feel like if I was in my 20s, I would have had so much fun when I was in Mabone. But it was too noisy for me. I'm an adult now. So when I was in Mabone, I had this very powerful connection with the land guardians of South Africa. So the way that the guardians connected with me, and they can connect with every one of us differently, but they connected with me through songs, through sound, and through dance, which looked like I literally found myself standing up and dancing and singing for a whole hour. And I'm like, oh my God, what is happening here? And as I started to really dance, because my gift is isithunya, so the more I dance, my body, the heat increases, you know. So you would find that those who have that isithunya, which is universal consciousness, who are attuned to the spirits, you know, when you dance, you begin to open up even more. It's like the body begins to be a door, and that door opens up through dance and sound. And as it opens up, you begin to hear with your spiritual bodies and your spiritual self. So after that dancing, and I was like, I didn't even know I could dance like that. It was really powerful. The guardians, they started to talk to me. Right, and they started to introduce themselves. These guardians are the old kins, they told me. We are the old kins. So every land has different types of guardians. So they are the elemental guardians that are essentially the water spirits, the mountain spirits, the, you know, the dragons and fairies and all these types of different beings, mermaids that we put in our books. They are actually coming from our memories. these beings and spirits, they actually used to exist with our ancestors a long time ago when the earth was in in the seventh dimension. And at that time, the earth was called Tara. So in that time, remember how we like saying seventh heaven, when the seventh dimension will appear to us like the idea of heaven, which was this beautiful Edenic realm where there was like this beautiful trees and waterfalls and all different kinds of kingdoms existed together. So the human kingdom existed with the dragons, with the fairies, with the mermaids, with all these types of beings. We could see them, right? And then through what was both a natural phenomena, I say a natural phenomena because it is part of our evolution. You know, there is a process in which a species evolves, and that there's a point where we go, we rise, and then we have to fall, right? So we got a point where we fell, and as we were falling, which has been symbolized in the Bible as the time when we left Eden, we got disconnected from these kingdoms. We stopped seeing them, right? It doesn't mean they stopped existing. It just means that we moved from seven-dimensional Tara to the current Earth that we are in. And which is the third dimension, right? So these beings, the spirits, they can still see us, we can't see them. When you have this Isithunya gift, when you have, whatever template you have, the genetic path cutter template, you can begin to connect with them, with these beings, with whoever is actually part of your lineage, right? So there are some people here in the earth who are connected to the water spirits, and those water spirits are part of your lineage. It means that a long time ago, your ancestors were working with those kingdoms, or lived with those kingdoms, or were those kingdoms, or the dragons, or whatever it is, so different people feel called to different things. So let me just invite and ask you, generally, what do you feel called to? Which kind of kingdoms do you feel like you resonate with, in terms of, you can think of it from an elemental level, like water beings, or fire beings, which will be like the dragons, or earth beings, like, which will be literally the animals that we do have, the lions and whatnot, as well as the air beings, which are like the fairies and whatnot. The water ones will be like the mermaids, right? So you may have that inclination and interest in that. That's because there is an aspect of you that's connected to such kingdoms or such lineages, right? So when you begin this work of your genetic path cutter, there's going to be a point where you will grow to be able to commune with these lineages, right? So for me, I am more attuned to the fire beings, the dragons. So yeah, it's so weird, because I was like, a lot of people like that into water, and me, I'm like, please don't put me in the water, don't put me in the river, just take me to the mountains and I'm okay. So yeah, what are light beings? Or like, you mean spiritual, like angelic beings? Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. So in any case, I was talking about, like, these beings, they do exist. So the reason why we dance, the reason why we beat the drums, these drums, they become a portal that allows our consciousness to shift and elevate and ascend back to seventh dimensions, 8, 9, 10, all the way to the 15 dimensions. If you've been doing this for a while, you can go all the way to 15 dimension F, right? So, and then you can commune with them and you can learn what you need to learn from them and receive what you need to receive. I do put a disclaimer that this is not something you should just go do just because you're like, oh my God, I'm connected to the water spirits, let me go there. There is actual processes that are more organic, that are in alignment with the living God, you know. And for me, what I found is that I've actually not even tried to do anything. As I've been healing myself and healing my shadows, my consciousness just grows and develops and expands. And yes, I've also had initiations that have allowed me to expand my vision, to be able to see more, right? So my vision has really expanded since I went through my oracle initiation. So I'm able to see more. So back to the story. The story was that I was in Maboning. I found myself dancing. And as I was dancing, I started to connect to these old kins. And these old kins were these very tall, dark beings. And they introduced themselves as the holy gods of this land, and they are the guardians that are guarding the stargate in South Africa. The earth has 12 stargates. The stargates that we do have in our planet are essentially gates that allow us to connect to the stars. So when you are born as a spirit, as a star being, because we are all star beings, we are all from the sun, you know, we are the children of the sun. To come into the earth, you pass through the stargate. So a lot of people in Southern Africa, for example, the gate in which you were born into this earth is the gate that is found here in South Africa. This is why South Africa has a very powerful energy, it's a very primordial, ancient energy. And of course, it trickles down to all of Africa. Africa has that very primordial energy, that because Africa is holding what we call the grits, and these grits are like very old organic, how to say this, energy portals, like gateways, you know. So other than the gate itself, the stargate in South Africa, which you are born into, and you will, when you die, when people die, they return home through the stargate, right? So the stargate that you are born into is a very important. So if you are in Southern Africa, you probably came through. If you are born in Southern Africa, you are born through the stargate, right? So the guardians of that stargate are these old kins, very, very tall beings, powerful beings, and they have a message for us, right? That's why I'm here, to share this message. The first message that they had, I was writing so much, and at some point I stopped writing because it was so much information. But yes, portals, yes, Kulumenzi, so good to have you here. Yes. So the first thing we need to understand is that these stargates that are all around our planet, they are what connects us to God, to the living, to the heavenly realms. And so since our fall, these stargates have not been able to send in these organic, primal, heavenly energies to our world. And you would find that where the stargates are, if I mentioned that there are 12 stargates, which means not every country has a stargate. So countries that have stargates are South Africa, Egypt has stargate, Iraq has a stargate, and London has a stargate, and others as well. But I wanted to talk about these 4 places I just spoke about: Egypt, London, Iraq, and South Africa, but particularly Iraq and South Africa. What do we notice about these 2 countries, right? But also just essentially all these countries. What do we recognize about their history, what do we recognize about the people who come from these specific countries? Yes. Who? Oh, yeah, beautiful, Sibongile. So as you guys are thinking and sharing about this, yeah. Oh, guys, this message just started to activate me. Sorry. Anyway, so, and I didn't actually know that this is the message I was going to share today. But anyway, the Stargate in South Africa and Iraq. South Africa has a history of war, right? Has a very dense energy that has had violence, and the same is true for Iraq, right? And Egypt and London, they hold these energies that are very dense for the collective, and traumatic energy, violent energy. Right? Why is that the case? I will speak more for South Africa. So this Stargate, it has the Guardians, and the Guardians, unfortunately, were infiltrated, not necessarily that they were not doing their job, but essentially the dark or negative forces that are not interested in us being connected to our ancestors, to our power, to the stars, to the living God. They usually essentially take these gates and then use them to run reversals in the earth, in the land. So these reversals are like negative energy. As negative energies, instead of sending into the ley lines heavenly energy, it is energy that creates violence, that creates pain and suffering, right? So why I'm saying this is that we need to understand, like, let's go a little bit higher in our mind and stay in that spirit space to get what I'm saying, that the history of South Africa, the violence that has happened in South Africa has not only been about the people. In fact, it's not about the people in South Africa. It is about what has happened in the spirit realms that this land is part of, and how the energies there has been inverted, distorted. And so as we sit in these energies, they affect us and they affect our consciousness and influence how we think and influence the actions that we do with each other, right? So when we are speaking about social change and we're speaking about transforming gender-based violence, transforming racial wars that do exist here, we cannot talk about them without talking about the lens, and without also looking into that, a little bit of that history. And also, I mean, there is a good news, but I just wanted us to know the history, that the primal energy in South Africa has been inverted, and that's why there's been a lot of violence. The same is true in Iraq. So where the earth is holding profound energy, where the earth is connected to the heavenly realms, the negative forces essentially target that land, so that the people are disconnected from God, and they're disconnected from each other, they're disconnected from their ancestors. Does that make sense? Who? Shoo. So I'm sharing this because the guardians are here. They have woken up. They're taking back the Stargate. The old kings are taking back the Stargate in South Africa. And as they will be taking back the Stargate, what we will see is what will look like chaos, but it's actually them rectifying what has happened in the last couple of 100 years. This violence that has happened in the land has been mostly like spiritual. The origin has been spiritual. And the reason why you have woken up, the reason why a lot of people are going to initiation schools, a lot of souls are waking up, it's because the guardians need you to wake up so they can work with you. They cannot do this alone, right? So we need to recognize what is actually happening, because yeah, this is very rough, Sibongile. We are at war though. We are at war. So what is the good news? The good news is the old kings, the ancient ones, the elders, they saw this and they saw what was happening in South Africa and the rest of Africa and the whole world, essentially. And what they have done is that they decided to come into the Stargate. And to come into the Stargate, how? By being born in the land, meaning what? That the elders, the ancient ones, the ancestors have come back. These ancestors are you. This has been a project that has been happening at a spirit level for particularly since the 50s, 60s. So a lot of everyone probably who's here is essentially these guardians. We have come back. We are here. So what do we mean when we say, oh, the ancestors are calling me? This is what they're calling you for. Just wanted to come and drop this very big bomb in your life to shake you so that you understand how big this is, right? So you are a holy guardian, right? And as a holy guardian, you've got work to do. This work is a spiritual work. This work includes us healing these shadows that were created by the Stargate being taken over, these violent experiences that we've been through, that we have done to each other. Because why have the men been violent and women as well receiving the violence, and the black men receiving violence, and white people as well? Like, it's been this back and forth kind of war. It is because essentially we got disconnected to the heavenly realms. We have not been receiving the energy that are coming from God. The good news is that the Stargate has been returned to the true guardians, and the energy of God is here. God has returned. We are now able to connect back. The old kings are here, and they need us as the living ones to ground and anchor this energy back in the land. They can only do so much. So the reason why, part of the reason why you were born, and part of the reason why you are called by the ancestors, part of the reason why suddenly you started finding yourself interested in ancestry, is because we all had the bell. There was a siren that said, dun, 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 time to wake up now, time to do the work that you're actually here to do. Whew, let's take a breather. Does that make sense, beloveds? Let me know the process that you are having. Whew. It is a lot. Whew. Yes, Cape Town is holding very powerful energy, Lerato. Yes, right. So we chose the specific countries that we were born in for a reason, because there was particular work that needed to be done in those land. Like I said, you all have heard me talk about the Prime Directive. The Prime Directive is essentially why God has not just come and cleared out our pain, removed COVID, and just helped us. The Prime Directive states that every civilization has to be allowed to evolve and devolve if it wants to. And no one is supposed to interfere with that path, the path of a civilization. However, the Prime Directive allows support from the guardians, those who are interested in helping a particular civilization. And so the guardians can only help through the law of consent. If humanity consent to be helped, then humanity will receive help. So throughout the ages, we've had holy guardians coming in and essentially helping humanity. And the way that they've been doing this is through what? Them being born. This is the only way God has allowed it to be done. In this way, humanity gets to still choose, right? So, you know, we've had your Buddhas and Yeshua, Jesus Christ coming in as humans so that they can be in the land and do the healing. What we don't understand is that this is not a process that just stopped. It's been ongoing. So holy guardians have been coming with every generation. And right now, there's been a lot of holy guardians that are here. All of you who are listening to me today, you are part of that team, right? And your job is to wake up, to see all the distortions that exist, to see all the ways that we have disconnected with the truth of who we are, that we have disconnected with God. And as you wake up, you're going to also understand what is the particular role you are to play as a holy guardian, right? As a genetic path cutter. And your team that is outside the earth, that is in the higher realms, you know, this is the ancestral team that you have, the angelic teams that you have, your star family, where some people are from different stars and different elemental kingdoms. These beings are still outside and you're infinitely connected to them. And this is why as a healer, you are drawn to these different elements and kingdoms and so on. It is because they are part of your family and your lineage, and they are available to connect back to receive more information, because when we come to the earth, we forget truly who we are. This is why different people wake up at different times, right? When you're like, oh, I had a spiritual awakening. A spiritual awakening is essentially when you get that trigger that tells you something is of there is more to life than the life you were living, right? So so the holy guardians, to be a holy guardian is to be one who has come to this earth with a particular mission. And all of our missions as the holy guardian is one, which is what? To repair the earth and to return the earth to the heavenly realm, to return her to where she used to be, to return the divine logos of love, of compassion, of unity, of kindness, all of these things that we know are inherently the things that God imbued us with and that we feel are missing in the world, or all the things that right now, when we look at what is human suffering is that lack of love, that lack of abundance, lack of resources, lack of health, well-being, lack of connection, right? That is what creates human suffering, right? So we are here to return these divine logos as the holy guardians. So how do we return them? The divine logos are in your DNA, they're in your blood. You are holding them in your blood. You are literally the medicine. You are the one who is the logo and who's holding the logo, who's here to ground the logo. Okay, I know I just went on a PhD, so I'm just going to take a break now. Let me know what's coming up for you. Whew. I'm just gonna clear because these people forces that are not interested in us knowing the truth, they don't like it when you get to know the truth, by the way. So just having a little bit of that, frequency resistance interference in my field. So I'm just gonna do like a live clear with you guys here. Cool, because it's a very serious. Okay, just calling in I template energy field now. Calling in the Holy Guardians. Please clear out the field, releasing all influence entities, forces, negative portals that are currently open. Please send them down to ethical, light, and beyond to be transmitted. Unconditional love. Whew. Okay. I have to say this, y'all. When I write things, and I like today, I wrote that I'm gonna talk about holy guardians. I did not know I will go this deep. So I'm as shocked as you are. Okay. Because it's really honestly not me who's speaking. It is the holy guardians speaking through me. They wanted you to know this today, so this was your destiny, this moment. Okay. I am very happy this resonates with you, Kopana. Yes, Gary, so welcome. Yeah, Rasto, I know what you mean. Like, shoo. Very intense, yeah. Yes. So the thing about these holy guardians, we connect with them through the earth, A lot of them are our ancestors, particularly those of melanated lineages, They are very much earth-oriented beings. They are part of the inner earth of Amenti earth, which is part of our right now. Actually, we are ascending back to Uther, the highest aspect of earth, which is Uther, right? So our ancestry, the reason why we're very earthy is because our lineages is around these kingdoms, So the truth is, you have chosen the particular bloodline that you are in because there was a specific work you needed to do in that bloodline. You have also chosen a particular country to be born in because your mission was connected to that stargate, to that land, to the history of that land, and the reparation work that needed to be done in that land. You will recognize, for example, there's been this phenomena of a lot of South Africans waking up. Why is that? It's because there is a lot of work that they need to be doing here. So we need more people waking up. There's also been a lot of children that have been coming in since 2012 particularly. And these children are highly advanced beings. You can just see these are like the ancient ones. They've come back as babies. So you are hearing this because you need to understand that we are much more than these bodies. Your identity that you have is just part of a point, a station of identity that you are using to move in the earth, but it's not the entirety of who you are, right? It's so weird that in the background there's that light. It looks very, like a portal. Right. So what I wanted to say, one, because a lot of people do come to me, and a lot of people, I feel like, what is my purpose? What am I here to do? And there's also a lot of fear and not understanding why you are called. Why is it that you are different from your family members? And like, why is it that you are the only one in your friendships that is interested in spirit? It's because you have a different mission, right? So some people are here for the earth experience, to just explore the earth experience, and that is part of that journey. And then there are some who are part of the holy guardians, who their mission in this particular timeline is connected to the healing, to the reparation, and to the return of the divine logos. These people are the people who we say we had a spiritual awakening. We are the ones who are going on Google and YouTube and searching for, how do we connect with the ancestors? How do we do this in ways that are organic, right? This is because there is a part, like, as I mentioned, this mission is in your blood. So your blood, your DNA had a key in which it knew it had to come online. And one day you came online and you found yourself here. You know, you can even try to trace, how am I listening to Joy today? But it doesn't matter, because you had your own trigger moment in which you were going to be triggered to remember this, right? And so I know it's very confusing right now. The reason why the guardians want you to know this today is because of what is happening today. What is happening in our world, in that our people are transitioning. We are in a biological warfare right now, where there is a pandemic. That pandemic is not just, it's not a physical phenomenon, it's a spiritual phenomenon. And that spiritual phenomenon is of the negative forces, which is still about disconnecting us even more and more from our connection to the spirit. So if you're here, I would like you to know that your job is very simple, is we are here to return humanity to our spiritual origins, our spiritual parents. That is what you're here to do. Whether you are a coach, a healer, a teacher, a guide, whatever role you are doing, if you didn't know, and it's okay that you're doing it the way that you're doing it, but essentially at the core of it, it is that we are all doing one mission, all of us, and that is the mission of spirit. And there are many distortions and many things that are very confusing about this path. And as I'm coming back, what I've been sent to do, the guardians have told me that it's time for us to really know the truth. And it's like hard truth, a little bit painful, sometimes shocking, but I believe that every one of you, you're probably feeling like, oh my God, this is making sense. Let me know what you are resonating with, what's making sense for you. And if you have any questions, you can ask them now. But essentially, you are a holy guardian, and your job is to help humanity, especially right now. We are struggling with all that is happening in our world. And the antidote, the medicine, is the divine. It is spirit. And there is benevolent forces, beautiful guardians, elementals that are available that you can connect with, but you must also know that you are actually the defender warrior. You are the warrior who has been brave and courageous to come to this earth at this particular period in human history. I don't know if many of us get that we're living through a historic time, right? But you were born in this timeline because you are a warrior. This is why I call you all warriors. And your mission is to help humanity through your own healing, but also through doing whatever it is that you are called to do. Your offerings, your service in the world, it is needed right now. So just wanted to remind you to offer clarity and whatnot, so that you can understand why the ancestors are calling you. We've got work, okay? Whew. Whew. So let me see what are the thoughts coming up. I must say, I know I need to be hearing this. I even feel compelled to write down what you're saying, and I haven't felt this in all. This is important. Yes, thank you, Arias Bongide. Between vivid dreams and the push to meditate and patla, my body has been taking a strain. Yes, I can confirm to you all, you may have noticed that you've been having a lot of those vivid dreams. It is because in the dream state, in the astral, we are connecting back with the true self, and we are actually doing all of this work. You know how I've said that our Stargate has been taken over and we need to return it. Who do you think is taking it back? We are. And whether you're conscious or not, you've been doing this work. You've been spiritually taking it back. You know why? Because in your true form, in your highest level, you are aware of every single thing I am saying. So when we go to sleep, most of us are actually going to work. You are working in the spirit realms, right? So of course there is levels of initiation and remembrance that if every one of us we go through, you know, and there is a path that you are in, and you will remember more and you would understand more and you get more clarity as you go along. But the reason why a lot of us have been having these vivid dreams is because we've been literally returning ourselves, our entire lineages and communities to God. And we we do this every night. At most of us are doing this at night, and so that's why you're waking up and you're like tired. You're like, what did I just do? Like, there've been so many dreams. What was happening? You know, that's the work. Yeah. Whew. Which clearing? Oh, the one where I was clearing. Yeah. Cool. Yes, Kopana. I am so shook. I've been highly activated lately, and moreover, I've been missing your transmission. Thinking about it a lot. I'm deeply shook. Oh, I am so sorry, Lerato. What is shocking you all, my loves? A beautiful day. I'm happy to have been called to do my F mission. Yes, beautiful. But the darker side is into how far we're waking up. The shadow side is working hard to shake us up. Everyday prayers to protect your energies and minds. Yes, 100%. Right. Honestly, the level of infiltration and distortion is actually a little shocking once you understand it and you see it for yourself. But what the guardians have showed me at the same time is I have seen and I know with certainty that there are billions and billions of guardians right now surrounding Earth, helping Earth right now. The truth is that God won. Like this, whatever is happening right now, it's just unfolding, but we already won. We already got back our land. We got back our souls and our lineages, and we are really truly returning, right? God has already taken back his children, and we've done the work. Right now it's just unrolling like a movie. It's just us to complete, you know. But we are in the golden age, right? And although it feels and seems very grim right now, our job right now is to pray as hard as we can, is to be connected as much as we can be. It's to be brave and to be courageous and to not hold back, you know. There's no time, you know. There's just no time to be afraid anymore, because fear is not gonna take us where we need to go, right? So I will invite you to understand that you are so powerful, and you're so loved and so protected, and you have like this core beautiful energy, and that energy is what was going to help us here. So do not be afraid of your capacity to love, to heal, to pray, to help. Allow yourself to surrender to that and do what you can with what you're able to do, you know. So um yeah, okay, so let me just check a couple of questions. You're welcome, Kopana. So how do you know if you've been called to heal humanity or just to explore the experience? Well, if you are here to explore the earth experience, you are likely never going to watch this video. If you're watching this video, you are clearly here to heal, because you will not be interested in this if it wasn't part of your mission, right? So you know how you have people in your family who, if you ever try to communicate anything spiritual, they will look at you like you're weird. They don't even understand what that's all about. That's because they are likely here for the earth experience, and it doesn't matter what you say to them, they will never be interested in it. But if you find yourself interested in the spirit, if you have, like, honestly, if you're here, you are clearly here to heal. Why else would you be spending your Thursday night watching a girl speaking these weird things? The reason why you're here is because, let me explain, the reason why you are particularly magnetized to me as the vessel who's transmitting this, it's because there are messages in what I have to say that I am saying. And these messages are not coming from me. They are coming from your own counsel, your own family, right? So you are able to be in this particular moment to listen to this live stream because it is your destiny to listen to this live stream. And I know that everyone I speak to is here to heal. They are not here just for the earth experience. Yeah, that's how you know. Okay. Does that make sense, Pal? Okay, so a couple of questions as I've been given specific tasks. How do we connect with the Holy Guardians? How do you connect with the Holy Guardians? I will share my experience. I started to be able to connect with the Holy Guardians once I started to repair my relationship with God. I believe that the organic way in which we work with the benevolent one is through the true frequency of our living God. You may notice that I use words like the true living God, pure source consciousness, and so on. Why do I do that? This is not to scare anyone, but to bring awareness to you. But there are actually many gods in the universe, warriors. There are beings, entities that believe that they are God also, right? So when you are praying, it's very important to be very specific to say, I am talking to the true living God. I am talking to the source of all creation, the God of this planet, the God of the animals, of the oceans, of the rivers, the God that has created me, that has created my soul, right? The pure source consciousness creator, the all that is the pure essence, right? Lately I've been literally just helping people reframe how we pray, because there is ways in which sometimes we say things without realizing they're not too clear. So be very clear. Even when you're connecting with your ancestors, be very clear which ancestors you're connecting to, right? You want to connect with those of the highest timeline, highest frequency, right? So you want to say this as well. Okay. Once again, I've written this. If you are here, please, as of this moment, please stop calling it, oh, I'm just praying to the universe. Why? Because the universe is a creation. It is not the creator. It is not God, right? So you can't pray to a creation. And the universe, if you say, oh, I'm just connecting to the universe, any entity from the universe can listen and it can be like, oh, hello, human, right? So no more praying to the universe. The universe is not a source of the living life. The universe is also a creation, just like you. It's a body, just like you. So connect to the living God. When you connect to the living God, you will begin. There is a lot to it, and I'm going to be doing a lot of teachings that are going to help us to connect truly, because there is and many, many ways that people get lost in that spiritual awakening. I've also gotten lost in my spiritual awakening. And right now, my mission is to help us return to the true living God, to do our true living mission that God gave us. Okay. Yes. Okay. So since the message for most healers, because of this awakening, are saying we are just healing, now as I stand, I know I'm not just healing only. How do we heal and do this work simultaneously? Because it's a lot and can be confusing. Okay. So yes. By the way, speaking of this, I am going to be doing my famous masterclass series in July 20. I'm going to share about it tomorrow, so you can sign up for the masterclass series. And this masterclass series will be on ancestral healing, how to actually heal, right? Because I know a lot of people don't actually really know how to heal themselves, how to heal with the ancestors, and so on. So we're gonna have that. It's gonna be a free program. It's just because the Holy Guardians, they told me, girl, please, yeah, no, you have to do this for free. So I'm gonna be doing this free program to help you all heal, and also a little bit of like some kind of like training on how to do it on yourself. But I can say this, and this is something that I've been discussing with my teachers and mentors, is there is levels in which you can be able to heal yourself. This is true. We are self-healers, this is true. But the truth is, the quantum, and not the quantum, what we call your light body, it's a very sensitive, your energetic body, the thing that people call your aura, it's a very sensitive thing. And if you do not know what you are doing, you can actually damage your own field if you just try to just heal by yourself. So there are times in which you actually need a technician, an architect, someone who's been initiated to do that specific work. So that's why we have initiations. These initiations is because that's where we understand our specialties and we learn how to actually heal in ways that do not damage, that in ways that that leaves the least damage, you know. And I know that a lot of us have been damaged in terms of, in the past, you may have worked with healers that were not organic and authentic, and they were not in alignment with the living God. And I have, in my work, I've had to also repair a lot of people who did healing that actually damaged their energy fields, right? So the truth is, there is only so much healing you can learn from YouTube. I can tell you that. Even listening to me, there's only so much you can learn. I had to be initiated, and I've been initiated 3 times in my life, by specifically in this work, by different teachers. And even now I have a lot of, not a lot, but I have mentors that always are teaching me and helping me understand a lot of things, you know. So I do want to say that spirituality has a divine order, it has divine principles and divine laws. So we are not going to bypass that by just listening and trying to heal ourselves alone. So if you are feeling confused, it's okay to recognize that you may need support, right? Like for me, I've invested so much money in learning how to heal because I don't want to damage God's children. I don't want to be that person, you know. So if you are a healer, a career healer, a practitioner, you need to understand that in the same way that we had to go to school for 4 years to do our degree, like for me, I get a little shaken because I had to go do 4 years of psychology, you know, to understand the mind. And I've also done so many years in learning how to be an oracle, and an ancestral guide and how to, like, I'm still learning how to heal the ancestral bloodline. So there is going to be levels in which your mission is going to require that you be taught by, mentored, initiated by someone. It is the unfortunate truth, right? Yeah. And speaking of YouTube, I know a lot of us, we sometimes do not have the resources to be going for initiation or working with Joy in her once-off sessions. But right now, the thing is, the guardians are right now so queued up that you have the ability to connect with them. And this master's class series I'm going to do is going to help you to know how at least you can do self-work. You can work with them by yourself at a certain degree, at a certain level, right? So that should be able to help, okay? Yeah. I'm glad that resonated with you, Sibongile. It's a pleasant shock, mostly on feeling that there's a reason and purpose to all that we're going through. Thank you for the light. Ashe. That makes sense. I had a dream about one such topic you mentioned earlier and it stuck with me since. Thank you so much. Yes, a lot of our ancestors that are very tall, like the ancient ones, that are very tall. It's unbelievable. Yeah. Can you be called to heal yourself only, or do you have the responsibility to help others heal once you've received your own healing? There are some people who are only called to just work on their own DNA. And when you are healing yourself, you are actually healing your DNA, your bloodline, right? So not everyone is meant to be a career healer, right? And not everyone is meant to heal in one specific way. There are so many people who are healing the earth in different ways. And I can tell you this, I've said this so many times, there are healers in the banking system, in the education system, in the legal systems. The holy guardians are everywhere. So we cannot all just be healers. It wouldn't even make sense. We also need to go to different spaces to heal there. And so you may not be healing like in this way that I do, type of way, but there is work that you are doing there, and there is work that you are doing unconsciously and some which you're doing consciously, right? So not everyone is meant to be a healing practitioner. How do you know that you are meant to be a healing practitioner? You just have the interest. If you have the interest, that's the key. It's a key. Like for me, before I even started being a spiritual healer, I enrolled in a psychology program because I really just wanted to understand human beings and why the world is the way that it is, right? And when I look back in my life, even before I knew what psychology was, I was always interested in healing, always interested in humankind, right? So you will know if this calls you. It will be an itch that you can't just like let go of. It's just, you'll be like, I need to do it, Yeah. Yeah. Yes. There's a download I received on fear in May. Begin, start, just do, go, abandon fear. It does not serve me for this next part of my life. It will only slow me down. Yes. Thank it, the fear, for all it did for you, how it kept you alive. Its work is done now. Yes. You no longer need it. Now is not the time to be fearful. Now is not the time. 100%. This is a message for every single one of us here. This is not the time for fear. Sibongile is telling us, y'all. I love it. Yeah. Beautiful. Thank you. Yes, Connie. Yes, you're most welcome. Yes. Can initiation be put into words? Okay. Is it similar to consecration? Initiation is one. We are all right now in an initiation. As a collective human race, we are being initiated in a particular part of our journey as a collective. through what is the events that are happening right now. This is an initiation, right? When you are listening to me, it's an initiation. You're being initiated to higher knowledge, higher wisdom, right? And then there is also a level in which you go through rituals and processes. And I know people get very iffy and scared about the word ritual. Ritual, it just means a particular set of activities that you go through. And the church, psychology, doctors, traditional healers, shamans, scientists, all use rituals. A ritual is not just an African spirituality process. It is just essentially a process in which the human mind is taken through a set of activities that allows it to open up to higher dimensions and higher knowledge, right? So if you are doing a ritual like cleansing your body, steaming, that's a ritual. When you steam your body with hot water, which you may put salt in, or you may put in bay leaves and plant medicine, whatever it is that you're putting in, it's a ritual, right? So there is initiation like that where you are doing particular rituals. There is also initiation where you actually have a mentor who is helping you unlock your gifts, your divine keys, your divine mission that you are here to do. And as they are helping you unlock, they're also connecting you to your holy guardians, the true guardians, and they're also connecting you to your own highest self so that you can understand what your work is, right? And then there is a different initiation, which can be essentially, which is teaching you how now to do your work, right? So in my journey, I've been initiated to my holy guardians in 2018. I met my holy guardians. I was initiated to my gift, Isitunya, and my holy guardians, the Abalozi spirits, and learning to work with them, right? I am still in an initiation. Right? Initiation actually never stops. In ancient Kemet, initiations used to take 40 years. And I truly believe it takes that long to truly be understanding of the spirit realm. I know with the way that we are conditioned, we wanted to be like, oh, I go for 3 months and then after that, I know everything that to be known, or 6 months. It doesn't work like that. Most of the time to be initiated is to be introduced to a philosophy, a way of perception, perceiving the world, this world and the spiritual world, and learning how to navigate that world, right, in ways that is not dangerous for you or confusing and so forth. So initiations are important because if you do not know what you're doing, you can end up just falling into the wrong places, right? And the spirit realm is very vast, and there is beautiful, heavenly, angelic, Edenic realms, and there's also phantom, dark, confusing realms in the spirit realm, in the universe. It is the unfortunate truth. But when you think about it, it's just similar to planet Earth. In the Earth, there are places that are safe and places that are not safe. You don't go to places that are not safe. If you go to a new country, like I've been here in the new country, I've had people who I call to take me to particular places because I don't know. I need a guide. That's what initiation is, right? Yeah. Okay. Who is everyone also supposed to like get initiated in, for example, a particular African spirituality lineage, which in South Africa they call it an impande? No, not everyone is supposed to. It's everyone has their own journey, right? There are those who can also be initiated by the holy guardians who are not physical, right? Who receive all of this. But what I found is that at some point you can't do this without a mentor. It's literally impossible. I can 100% say that. They may be where you are obviously initiating yourself and being initiated by spirit and initiated by God. But sometimes you just need that other person to just give you a different perspective, right? So you will know when it's time to be initiated. You can also ask for guidance from the holy guides, where to go, who to work with, what is safe for you, and so on. When it comes to things of initiation, it's something you don't have to decide in that moment. Think about it, ask, request, get as much confirmation as you need, and then take that leap. Yeah. Okay. Who? Am I able to identify other people's gifts? Yes, that's part of my template. I'm able to see people's gifts and my once-off sessions. The higher mission activation is where I will tell you your template. I can see, I'm shown by your higher self in your team, your templates and what your mission is currently, because your mission changes, by the way. Like it doesn't change, but it's like, just like at work, you start doing a project and then you're given another project and so on. The same is true in the spirit realm, but you can always see like the entire job role, right, of someone. So I can see your job role in the spirit realm. Yes. So my once-off sessions, the higher mission activation, is for those who would like to understand their gift. And with it, we are also able to get clarity on guidance from the holy guides on the next level, the next paths, and how to work with your gift. Yes. Yes. Once again, it's time for us to pray, warriors. There is so much happening in our world. It's not even games. I know that even the word pray can be a little bit of a trigger if we have that religious wound. This is why you have to heal your religious wound as well, because there is truth to the teachings of different ancient texts, including the Bible. The truth, however, may not be, it's not often literal. So the teachings of the Bible are teachings that you have to use your spiritual eyes to read and understand what is being said there. A lot of the time, religion felt like there was something not okay with it because we were reading it with our mental eyes, right? So please look into your relationship with God, your relationship with Christ, your relationship with your soul and your spirit and your highest self and your ancestors, right? Yes. Okay. Oh, yes, that's it, beloveds. I hope this was helpful. I didn't even know we will go this deep, but it is what the holy guides wanted us to know. Let me know what resonates with you. Okay, so two things. One, my once-off sessions, I have opened them, although now I think there's only one spot left in July. Sure. So I will be opening August as well soon. So if you want to book a session with me, the sessions that I have are for quantum inner child healing. If you want to heal, if you're struggling with something right now that you want to understand, the quantum inner child healing session is ideal for that. If you're looking to connect with your organic luminous ancestors and beginning your ancestral work, is the ancestral miasma option is ideal. If you have went through a very, very traumatic experience particularly a violent one that includes death and sexual violence, the soul retrieval is ideal for you, right? Or just a physical violence where your body was really hurt, right? So, or even if you are going through an illness in the body that's very difficult for you to process, the soul retrieval work is ideal for that. I've never shared this publicly, but I am very invested in helping women who have went through sexual violence. It's part of my mission. So if you have went through that in the past, then you would like to heal that wound, I will be honored to hold space for you in the soul retrieval work. We can help you heal that pain, that memory. And then the higher mission activation is for, yes, for understanding your mission and why you're called and your templates and whatnot, okay? So you can check those out. And then for those who are feeling really ready to go deep into healing themselves, and you are feeling like you need guidance and mentorship and support, Healing with the Divine Grandmother is open for enrollment. We're beginning August 1st, right? So please go check out my website and read about Healing with the Divine Grandmothers. It's a very, one of my favorite projects. It's ideal for people who are at the beginning of their healing, right? I know I can get a little PhD and complex, but this one, the grandmothers, they came to me as well. I'm gonna also share some of the things that the grandmothers were saying. I wasn't even going to do this again, and the grandmother said, no, Joy, like, this is needed, this offering is needed, we need to heal, right? So all those wounds that you incurred, you went through in your life, please come, let's heal in a community, in a sacred circle with the divine grandmothers. Just to share with you the different grandmothers that I work with that tend to come to help us heal. I work with the ancient grandmothers, the clan grandmothers, the 13 clan grandmothers, the elders from the different root races, the grandmothers from the 12 tribes of humanity, the original 12 tribes. I also work with the Lemurian mothers, as well as the Atlantean mothers. And I work with the Lyran mothers who come from the star system Lyra, because that's where my soul comes from. I also work with the Syrian mothers as well, the Lyran Syrian Council mothers. And I work with the dreamers, the grandmothers who are dreaming us right now, who the messages that they have given the warriors in the last cohort were really powerful. So yes, go check that out. It's a very, very powerful, and you will meet your own council, your holy council, particularly the divine one. It's not that we don't work with the divine grandfathers, but it's just that primarily we're working with the grandmothers because we're healing a lot of the wounding that the feminine has went through. Okay. Yes. Okay. So that's all the updates. Tomorrow we're gonna do Ancestral Healing Masterclass series. We're gonna do some healing. We're gonna work with the holy guardians. We're gonna work with the grandmothers. So check that out tomorrow, and let's hang on the 20th of July. I will see you next week, Thursday. Good night.